Black Canyon of the Gunnison, Colorado. Selene leaps to her feet and grabs Shatterstar by his collar.
You don't understand. If we die, he absorbs our power. He will become unstoppable.
She exclaims.
This woman will say anything to save herself.
Shatterstar tells me, pushing Selene back to the ground.
Even if what she says is true, won't killing Gideon just funnel the power of the externals into Selene?
Shatterstar suggests. Selene looks up at me and asks,
Please tell me that this moron doesn't speak for all of you.
She reminded me that she had the opportunity to do what Gideon was doing, but she stopped, as the power was too much. Too much for her, and certainly too much for Gideon. I tell Selene that I don't believe her for a moment. I added that I don't know why she stopped, but that too much power doesn't fit her profile. You're only frightened because someone beat you at your game, I suggested. Thinking of the devastating Necrotia event, I tell Selene that I know what her plans for the future are. I know who she really is, and I know what she plans to use Blink for. I then tell Selene that we will help her on the condition that she releases whatever sort of hold it is she has over Blink. What is he talking about? Blink asks. Deal. Selene replies, before Blink asks if someone can tell her what is going on. I informed her that we will discuss it later and turn to my allies, telling them to get ready. Because if Gideon is powered up like Selene says, then this is not going to be an easy fight. Watch each other's backs, I added. I turned to Selene and asked her if the externals are still connected and whether she can sense where Gideon is. Selene confirms that she can, before I asked Blink if she can take us to Gideon. Curious, what are you using me for, Selene? Blink asks.
Cable?
Armor calls out and Longshot points into the sky.
He's found us!
Selene gasps as my stolen Blackbird comes crashing down into the forest in a blazing fury. Good job with the shield, I tell Armor as she throws a large shield around the group. I ask them if they are all okay, to which Shatterstar replies, a little shaken. But other than that, while Gideon hovers in the air. Oops.
Hope the X-Men have insurance.
He jokes, while Absalom stands nearby, flames and smoke billowing around them. Longshot remarks that Gideon looks bigger.
That's not just me, right?
Enough of this nonsense. If it's a battle you seek, then you have found it.
Shatterstar calls out as he rushes forward, swords at the ready, and X-23 at his side.
I tell Shatterstar and X-23 to halt.
But before they can reach Gideon, the external releases blasts of flaming energy that knocks the two of them backwards. Gideon tells us not to put our lives on the line for someone who will kill us the moment this is over. This is external business. Between me, Absalom, and Selene. Step aside, Gideon declares.
We can't do that!
I responded as I opened fire at Gideon. And although the weapon's fire strikes his face, the wounds start to heal immediately. Cable, come on. I gave you an opportunity to walk away. You should have taken it, Gideon declares.
No!
I suddenly shouted as Armor and Longshot appear behind Gideon and leap towards him. But Gideon has indeed increased in size, and he easily kicks one leg backwards, which knocks Longshot over. And he moves forward with a fist, striking Armor and cracking the force field around her body. I've got Burke's powers of precognition. I can see what you're going to do before you, Gideon calls out, when suddenly I fired my weapon straight through Absalom, blasting a hole through his chest. Guessing Absalom didn't get those same precog abilities. I smirked. Well played, Cable, Gideon concedes, as green energy begins to crackle around his body. He leaps forward and points out that Absalom was never the threat.
I am,
Gideon boasts as he slams his fist into me, knocking me backwards.
Attack!
Shatterstar tells the others as he moves forward and shoves one of his blades through Gideon's chest, while Longshot and Armor both attack him too. Shatterstar tells the others to clear their minds and let loose, as Gideon won't know what is coming if they don't overthink it. Gideon groans, and suddenly, He releases a surge of energy, blasting all of the others backwards, as he then increases his form into a gigantic size. No more playing around, Gideon declares as the heroes struggle to get to their feet.
If I have to kill all of you to get to Selene,
Gideon begins while Dupe floats over to me and asked if I was okay. I assured Dupe that I will be fine, as Gideon concludes, I will. With Blink at her side, Selene declares that she should have known better than to come to me for help. Gideon was right.
this is external business.
She snaps as she shifts her form into a liquid-like substance, enabling her to rise up and match Gideon in height, whereby she wraps her hands around his neck and attempts to choke him. Ah, there's the Selene I was looking for. The fighter, Gideon utters. Selene calls him a moron. While down below, Blink looks up at Selene, worried. She tries to move forward, but I held her back. Let her. I tell Blink. Selene tells Gideon that all of this power was never meant to rest with just one of them, which is why she stopped the killings.
You won't become godlike, Gideon. The power will eat you, destroy you.
Selene warns him. I tell Blink that I needed her to stay close to me and Dupe. We're going to get out of this, I assured her. Selene dodges an energy blast that Gideon fires at her and tells him that their powers were meant to be split across the 7 of them. I could feel it tearing me apart, and I know that you can feel it now, Selene calls out. Lies. Lies from your damned witch tongue. I declared that I know what the future holds. I've seen it. I know how this pans out, and it is not in Gideon's favor. Gideon stretches his arms upwards and remarks that there are too many variables, too many timelines.
I know you, Cable. I know that you can't track them all.
Gideon points out as he increases his size and grabs hold of Selene, holding her in one hand. Blink stands nervously behind me as I reminded Gideon that he has been gone a long time and pointed out that things change. Something this big, this cataclysmic, I'd know. I added that the only thing I'd miss are small changes. Changes that have no consequence, no meaning, which makes me believe that this fails. I concluded.
Lies. All lies.
Gideon shouts as he slams Selene into the ground. Gideon looks down at us and declared that he will show us what real change looks like. I'll show you. What? Gideon begins as a portal suddenly appears above him and covers his head. Blink clenches her fists, then collapses at my feet as the others look up to Gideon in shock. His large body tumbles to the ground, headless, spraying blood everywhere.
That was amazing. You beheaded the beast.
Shatterstar grins, putting an arm around Blink. Absalom suddenly rises.
No!
He shouts as Gideon's body starts to explode.
You can't do this. Gideon was supposed to end my suffering. He can't be. Absalom begins.
Before I smacked him in the face, Longshot walks over to Gideon as blood continues to spurt from his neck and asks, Is he dead? I pointed out that only an external can kill an external. So at best, we have temporarily put him out of commission. Selene, armor begins as I confirmed that she is gone. She's not one for gratitude, I added. Armor asks if we should go after her, but I pointed out that we got what we came for. I instructed Shatterstar and Armor to see if there are any salvageable containment units in the wreckage. For the sooner we can get Gideon's body on ice and locked away, the safer we will be. I look down at Absalom and tell my teams that while we are at it, we might want to find some restraints for him. Let's get them both locked down before they pull out any other surprises. We're on it, boss, Armor calls back. If you knew that he was going to fail, why? Blink begins as she and I look at Gideon's body, but I tell her that I didn't. As Dupe floats past by, I declared that Gideon was right. It is impossible for me to know every possibility, and I was trying to keep Gideon distracted. I revealed that Dupe had a telekinetic shield up so that Gideon couldn't read our thoughts. and I needed to give Blink the opening she required.
I just wanted him to stop.
Blink utters, and he did. Because of you. Without you, it's possible he would have killed all of us. I reassured Blink, thanking her. All of you, I added, as the others gather around and Armor carries a containment pod towards Gideon. Shatterstar and Armor prepare to load Gideon's body into the containment pod, and as the sun begins to rise across the canyon, I tell Blink to take us home. Later, inside one of my safe houses at a classified location, we all stand before the containment pod, which has been placed inside a large, empty room. So what happens next? Shatterstar inquires.
I reported that I will take Gideon back to the future. One with a supermax prison that can hold him.
Thank you for your service, I tell Shatterstar, shaking his hand.
It was an honor,
Shatterstar replies. For real, that was fun. Well, not fun, but you know. Armor smiles as I shake her hand and tell her that I do, adding that she is going to make a great X-Man one day. You too, Laura. Dupe grins and extends his arms out towards me, remarking something in Dupe speak. I replied, "You're welcome, you little booger. Until we meet again." Longshot smiles. "Until then," I replied, before turning to Blink and telling her that I know what she has been through and that she can rest assured that she is in a better place now with people who care. I suggested she sticks with Longshot, as he will see that she lands on her feet. Blink thanks me as I walk over to the containment pod. Until next time, I tell my companions. Gideon and I then vanish. Armor turns to the others and asks, "So, does anyone know how we're supposed to get home from here?" Undetermined time period. Ridge Meadows Hospital, Maple Ridge, British Columbia, Canada, where a physician has just delivered a baby. "Congratulations, it's a boy," she reports. "Oh my God, he's beautiful," the baby's mother utters as the umbilical cord is clamped and the baby is given to the mother. "You did it, honey. I'm so proud of you," the father remarks, touching the mother's face. She smiles and admits that she was scared, but the father tells her that she did great and that they are going to be fine. He just knows it. The baby then opens its eyes, its strange purple eyes.